It's a good morning. The sun is so bright. How you doing? If you're finding me for the first time, my name is Penny. I come here 2 to 5 days a week when I'm not busy to inspire one person. I hope you can listen and learn one thing by the time you're done listening to me, and you're going to apply whatever you're going to learn in your life, and that will enable you to live a life with purpose. So this week we are talking about our money, our finances, which is always our major problem. We don't see it coming, but everything kind of revolves around money. Even when COVID hit, a lot of us lost our jobs, and we have not been able to even get jobs that are able to give us the quality of life that we desire. So we are doing this book, and this book is budgeting, and I was just reading the highlights, and then we are going to go back and go through them one by one. So we're on chapter 7. We were doing the highlights. On chapter 7, they are talking about your first job. Let me see, what do they mean about your first job? Let me see. 192, just to get a highlight. I don't want to assume. The other ones were obvious. 192, your first job. When you first start entering when you start first earning, it is tempting to start spending all the money and buying all the things you want. So okay, so what they're talking about is your first employment once you get money, and when we are going to come to itemize them, they're talking about your rent. Let's say you are in college, your student loan, your car payment, your car insurance, renter's insurance, cell phone bill, internet, streaming services. So what they're talking about is when you started earning. For me, I started earning 30 years ago. My goodness, that's a long time ago. And once you start earning, that's when you start planning your money. If you're wise enough, which that's why we are here to teach you who are starting now, the younger people, you should start investing at that time, your first paycheck. And then there is number 2. They're talking about getting married. Many of you actually are not even like married, but maybe you're come we stay. Some of you are just cohabiting with someone, and you're not legally married to someone. And some of you are legally married. You went into your marriage the legal way. And they are telling you, once you get into a marriage the legal way, there's some of us who went in with a joint account, and there's some of us who up to now, maybe you've been married so many years, you don't even know how much your husband earns. You don't know how much your wife earns. You guys just got married. You've never talked about money. You didn't talk about the the bills. You're just in a marriage and you're just trying things out. And I know a lot of people who've done that. But when you get into a marriage, if you are organized financially, you should let your spouse know what you are doing. Some of you come into marriage with something. You already own a house, you already have property, you have investments. Some of you come into the marriage with something. So they are talking about getting married, and we are going to see what they're going to say about getting married. And then they're talking about buying a home. I'm sure some of you sat down intentionally and discussed, okay, we are buying a home. How many bedrooms? And even that time, that's when you discuss, how many children do you want to have? Even before you buy that house, you should think about it. Okay, are we going to have children right away? Are we going to wait for a couple of years? When are you going to have the children? If you're going to have the children, how many children do you want to have? In our case, I think we waited 3 to 4 years before we had the children, because we were young. We didn't want to have children when it was time for us to party. So we wanted to enjoy first before we had the children. And I'm so happy we did that, because children are not toys. It's a lot of work to have children. So don't just have children. I tell women, I tell men, don't just make a child from trying to have sex. You can have sex that is not productive for recreation. Don't have sex to reproduce when you're not ready. Reproduce when you're ready, when you have shelter, when you have your finances together, when you know you can take care of your children. Don't just have children and then start asking people to help raise your children. And that's what I said yesterday. Some of your siblings do. They have children and then they want you to help them raise their children. Okay? Talk about how many children you want to have, because children are an expense. Don't just turn around and surprise your partner that you know you're pregnant, the lady. Even the men, before you have sex with a woman, before you start, you know you're having an erection, you're thinking you want sex. Before you get to that point where you're going to actually have sex, make sure that your wife or whoever you're having sex with is safe, because once you make that child, you're responsible for that child. Okay? And when you come into these relationships, you need to know how much debt your partner has. Don't just come in and get in. Hey, how are you? And get in and start a marriage. Know how much your spouse owes before you get into a marriage. Getting into a marriage blindly or getting into a relationship blindly with somebody who's in debt, you're bringing poverty. Okay? Now, there's something called getting divorced. A lot of us shy away. A lot of us don't want to talk about it. But my age mates, I'm 50. My age mates are at the point where they're divorcing. But if you look back, some of the people who are divorcing now, they didn't see it coming. We need to know, if other people have been divorced, you can be divorced. You need to be prepared for divorce. Don't think that you're exception. Your marriage is not any different. Your marriage is just like any other marriage. Go into the marriage knowing that you can be divorced. There is a possibility. Don't go in blindly, and then when it starts happening, it messes up your finances. Now, I have seen so many of my friends go through divorce, and they spend so much money to divorce the person they once loved. The saddest part of it all, they spend so much money paying the lawyers to fight each other. They never remember that they were once in love. They never remember that they have children. They don't think about children's college. They don't think, when they're angry, when they're breaking up, I just look at them and are in disbelief. And don't tell me that you are not there yet, then you'll know. No, I already know. I'm prepared for that divorce. I don't want to do some of the things that I've seen people do. Don't just say that, you know, when you get there, you'll see what you're going to do. No, you need to know what you're going to do when you're getting divorced. There's no need for me to go in and out of court fighting my husband over money that can go to my 4 children. I'm not doing that. So don't tell me that when I get there, I will see. No. I'm investing what I'm investing. He's investing what he's investing. There are things we've invested together. I plan to walk away with my head up high. I'm not fighting anyone. And I know that for sure. I'm not going to pay some lawyer. I'm not going to start, I don't know, doing all this. No. It's been 29 years. I'm at a point where, respectively, we need to part ways, and I'm not paying anyone. I'm not paying to fight for what belongs to me.
Look how you park.
Bye.
Look
at her.
Doing the boat.
Look at her.
You want to get caught up.
I'm on break. Bye.
You on break? Look how you park. You can't even be sneaky.
Bye.
You can't even be sneaky and hide.
I can't hide. Why should I hide? Bye. See, my friends, I'm parked like in a visible place. I'm on my break. So I believe in living like a free life. So anyway, I don't plan to do that. I don't plan to do all the things I've seen my family members do, my friends do. No, because what has happened to others can happen to you. So you need to be prepared. Every divorce doesn't have to be nasty. And I know a few people who have had a peaceful divorce. They just don't get the audience, and people don't even talk about it. There are people who divorce respectively because they got into the marriage respectively. They've kept their relationship so respectively. If for any reason that they want to part ways, there's something called a peaceful divorce. Don't say there's no peaceful divorce because you don't know about those things. Okay? The next chapter is don't let emergencies derail you or derail your plans. That's divorce. That is losing your job. Don't let anything derail you and you get discouraged. Okay, they are saying bounce back from financial disaster. Now you've spent all your money to divorce your wife. You've spent all the money to divorce your husband. You've lost a job. They're telling you bounce back. Okay, and then they're also telling you create an emergency budget. Now, I told you guys the other day, this is in my personal space. I have an account that is so far away that for me to go get money from that account, I have to go above and beyond to go get that money, because you know what, that money is for an emergency. And that account does not have my husband's name, because I need to be able to execute those, those decisions that I need to make personally without his consent. That is the money that I sell my waste with. This is money that I make off the street, my hustle money. I have about 4 to 6 ways I make money. 4 to 6 ways. My husband right now has one way. He has 2 ways. I have about 4 or 5. There are different things that I'm doing. And oh yeah, he has the goats in Kenya. He has all other ways in Kenya. But I'm saying here, for me, I have about 7 ways. These 7 ways, when I make this money, I take this money and put some in the bank account, another one there.
Park correctly. Park right. Don't park like that.
Another person, the third person, you see, oh my God. Yeah? So, this money, if I sell $15, I'm going to put $5 away, and I will drive and put that money there. This money is the money that you need to budget for your emergency, and you are the only one who has access to this money. Okay? Keep insurance protection for your financial future. Buy a life insurance with living benefits, where you can borrow from your insurance, where you can borrow from that account that you've been saving money in. Rebuild your savings. Once I drive to go remove my money from my savings account, I need to go back again and rebuild it. After I've removed $1,000 from that account, I need to find a way. It needs to stick in my mind that I borrowed $1,000 from Penina's private account. I need to take that money back. And especially women, if you're a woman with children and you don't have a hidden account, it's not hidden from your husband. Your husband knows that you do have an account, but he's not monitoring that account. Then you're waiting for a disaster to happen. You need to put money away for your children, even for you. If you don't have children, you need an emergency fund. Once you use it, rebuild it. In America, we have something called credit. I don't know about Kenyans or other parts of the world. Here, we live on borrowed money. Rebuild. If you destroyed your credit because of ignorance, start rebuilding your credit. Start with a prepaid card. Go to your bank. Ask them to give you a prepaid card, so where you put your money and you swipe. You put your money and you swipe until you build your credit. Don't give up, because you're here to stay in this America. Okay? Once you've gone through your crisis, or whatever crisis you have gone through, go back to your budget. Go back to what you used to do so you can put that money away. Bounce back and do those things you're supposed to do. Now, account for each penny. You see, I have coins here. I have a coin thing here. When I go to the shop and they give me change, I put the coins in this thing. These coins are here just in case I need coffee, just in case I need to encourage myself. I go to these coins. These coins are my money. You need to account for each penny. You need to account for each 5 cents. You need to account for all your money. Do not look at money and think that money is little money. There is no little money. When they pay you, when you're paid on your paycheck, they don't give you $9.99. They give you $10. If you're missing that 1 penny, that is your money. Doro, how are you? Every little penny that you own counts. Do not disregard your penny. All those coins account for all your money. And another thing, try to minimize the spending. Some things you don't have to have. Some things you can recycle. Find a way to create a savings. So, that is it for today. As you can see, people are already like, sure, oh, so now I have to to get off because I don't want to go past my time. You see, when they're like in your business, see, my friends were already in my business, so I have to get ready so I don't go back there, and then they're going to say, oh, she was on Facebook, oh, you know how your co-workers are. So anyway, thank you for listening. I hope I've inspired you. I hope you've learned something. You've listened and learned something that is going to help you think, help you grow, help you live a life with purpose. We are learning. This is my personal space. And let us be grateful for Facebook and all these platforms that allow us to bring people into our personal space, to show you what we are doing, to make the ends meet. I want you to challenge yourself today as I pen off. How many streams of incomes do you have? There are no millionaires in this world who have one stream of income. How many do you have? Write it down. How many things are you doing that are earning and putting money in your bank account? Cheers. God bless you. Please share this video. If you're finding me for the first time, like my page and move over to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I truly appreciate, because you know what? I cannot do anything without you guys' support. I'm here. I talk here, and every day I look forward to coming and talking to you. I cannot be here if you guys are not supporting me. I appreciate your support. Please do that and give yourself a pat in the back, because you know what? You're one step ahead of everybody else who's not watching me to keep a budget. And when you keep a budget, you're going to have a peaceful life. Cheers and God bless you.